I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about the relationship killer.
Uh-oh, that sounds pretty dramatic.
Is it like the game of Clue where we have to figure out who done it?
Who done it? I know who did it.
It was the avoidant.
I know who did it. It was Colonel Mustard in the library with the wrench.
He must have been an avoidant.
He was.
But we're going to talk about a big issue that comes up for literally every relationship.
Yeah.
And that is communication.
Or lack thereof.
Yes. Our inability to communicate with our partners will absolutely destroy a relationship. We will feel disconnected, and once that happens, all kinds of struggles are going to come. Anxiety is going to get the best of us. We're going to lose emotional self-control. We're going to get controlling, manipulative, all kinds of problems. But the better we can communicate, the better we can stay connected with our partner and understand them and make our relationship thrive. Right?
Yes.
One major mistake I see, and I told somebody about this today, is texting.
Yes, instead of sharing things face to face.
Yes.
Good point. I forgot that one.
I highly recommend that you guys stay away from texting. Texting should be nothing more than a basic, I'm running 5 minutes behind, I'll see you at 6.
Yeah.
What was the name of the restaurant? At what time? Very basic information. We shouldn't be texting each other our whole lives. How's your day? Where are you at? What are you doing? It's better to communicate by picking up the phone and having a short call if you need to have anything at all. I see so many breakups because we texted 150 times in a day. Well, what did you have to talk about when you saw each other in person?
Nothing. So we didn't communicate.
I mean, I just highly recommend that you guys use your texting for only very basic things, such as, in traffic, running a little bit behind, something short, where it's got to be a quick message, nothing about feelings, nothing about, important that you're trying to talk about with your partner.
Okay, you're in the kitchen, I'm here, I'm mad at you, think I'll text you to that effect. No, not the way to do it.
Yeah.
And it is important to remember that up until how many years ago? When did texting become really popular?
Maybe 15 years ago?
Maybe 15 years ago. People had to communicate face to face.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not saying texting is bad. I think it's a wonderful thing. I enjoy doing it. But there are certain things we just can't do, and that disconnected away. Okay?
It kills attraction.
Right.
Okay? It really does kill attraction.
Yeah.
Of not allowing that your partner to wonder about how your day is, what's going on with you. That attractive behaviors are so important for a relationship to stay healthy in the long term. A lot of times when we meet somebody new, we start texting them all the time. And then, the person gets bored. Like, we've only gone out one time, but we've texted 600 times.
Yeah, we've texted 600 times.
We don't even know what it's like in person.
I used to work with a guy who would tell me right up front that if he didn't hear from his wife every 30 minutes, he'd be sure she had run off with someone else.
And I'm sure he wound up leaving her for someone else.
She left him.
For someone else.
For someone else.
Yeah. The very thing he was afraid of, he caused to happen.
Yeah, he caused to happen. Okay. So for communication, skill 1 is if you're going to communicate well, the first thing you have to do is become an engaged listener.
Which is very difficult for those of us that are anxious.
Yeah.
And even avoidant.
Oh yes, it's very difficult. Yeah. So if you're anxious or avoidant and you want to tell me something, I need to certainly totally focus on you. And put the cell phone down. And I've worked with adolescents a whole lot over the years. I can't put my cell phone down. Why can't you? Because someone might call me. Well, okay. But it would be about getting together with them so they could see you face to face. Put your cell phone down if you're going to talk to me. And they would, after a bit of a hassle. Or I'd say, you can hold it in your hand so you'll know who you're going to call back and you don't have a nervous breakdown on the spot. But you want to give someone your full and undivided attention. And as Susan Johnson talks about going to lunch with her daughter, and the rule is you don't text. And the daughter thought she wasn't looking, but she caught her. You know? So put the cell phone down and know you can't listen when you have the phone in your hand and I want eye contact with you. Okay, so listen well. Focus fully on whoever's speaking. Don't let your mind wander.
Yep.
Don't interrupt or try to change the subject. Okay? Show your interest by saying, very often. Probably the major skill taught to therapists. As you tell me your story, I'm going to say, yeah. Okay, you can use it too. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Show your interest. Okay. Don't judge if you disagree with what your partner is saying, or
that's big.
You have a whole different opinion. Let them have their say before you address it.
It's so big.
I know it is. I know.
Oftentimes we don't do that.
It's very difficult to do. What did you say?
Yeah.
You think what?
Yeah, just because you have a belief about something doesn't mean your partner has to also.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people break up because of that.
I think they do too.
Yeah.
But we have to give people their own personal opinions and judgments, okay? Yep. Don't judge. You don't have to like or agree with the speaker's values or opinions. Provide feedback, and this is important. At the end of many sessions, I will say to people, let me be sure I have this right. This happened, that happened, the other thing happened, and this is how you felt about it. And people very much appreciate that you want to be absolutely sure you heard what your partner said.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And you can say, you can provide, what I'm hearing is, what I think you're saying is.
Yep.
And let me be sure.
Because it's showing that you're attuned.
And
you're listening,
sure
you're attentive, you're present, which is so important.
Now here's what the good listener does not do. At the end of the whole thing, say, but, and get defensive. After you've listened to everything your partner has to say, and then say, but, you gotta wait your turn, okay? When it's your turn, you can do it, but don't interrupt your partner, okay? Pay attention and hear the emotions behind the words. And if you learn to pay attention, of course, we do it for a living, okay? I know I depend a lot on people's tone of voice and body language to understand exactly what they're saying. I mean, if somebody's agitated and feels strongly, you want to note that. If somebody's sad about something, well, you really looked sad when you talked about, whatever. Or you really looked angry when you talked about the situation at work. Give them some real feedback. And let them know that you listened. I used to have a Garfield poster that I just love. You know Garfield the cat, the cartoon Garfield. And in his mouth he has one of those almost obnoxious smiley faces. And it says, have a good day. And obviously he's bitten it in half. And in his mouth he has the have a good day part, but he looks furious. I love it because that's for when your feelings and what you're saying doesn't match. I'm really angry. Have a nice day. Okay? Nobody said it better than Garfield. Always be ready to compromise. You can agree or disagree. You can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But be neutral and don't get all agitated about what your partner is saying, or nobody's going to hear anything.
I think one of the things that we do so much is we always try and force our opinion on the other person. And so
I disagree.
Well, feel free to disagree. But when somebody constantly does that to us, it's almost like they're trying to make us them.
Right.
Like they're trying to overtake us like the blob. You know how like the blob engulfs everything and gets bigger and bigger and bigger?
Right.
So they become smaller and smaller and smaller, and It's almost like my ego is getting bigger. I feel big because now you are, like submissive to me and my will and what I think is right.
And if you have a different opinion, you have a right to.
Yeah. You don't want to engulf the other person. Maybe you have some valid points, and you probably do, but they do as well. And when you can't see your other person's opinion, maybe it's a partner, maybe not, but if you can't see somebody else's opinion, then you're just going to wind up leading to disagreements that don't go well.
One of the other phrases I've become rather fond of, and it was not a phrase that was in my vocabulary until fairly recently, I see it differently, or so-and-so sees it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can get that other description, which is often quite helpful.
Yeah.
All right? So you have to allow for some differences, but talk to each other. And I will have people say, well, we never communicated, and he did this, this, and this. I said, well, did you ever tell him how you felt about that? Oh, no. Why not? He might have gotten upset. Well, now you've split up. He did indeed get upset.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, a lot of people keep things to themselves because they're afraid to get someone upset, and they wind up leaving anyway.
Right. So, there are all sorts of things we can say. There's something I want to talk about, Craig, and I hope you won't get too upset about it.
I probably will.
That's right. But you can say that. You can say all kinds of things. There's something I feel like we could communicate about it, and I hope it's comfortable for you. There are all kinds of things you can say.
Yep.
But we don't want major issues to just get swept under the rug, because it is, as Craig said, the relationship killer.
Yeah. And for those of you who are really wanting to get your ex back and keep them, communication is absolutely critical. Making changes, improvements to your communication skills, imagining what struggles you had with your partner in the past, and how to do them better in the future is absolutely essential. Otherwise, you'll wind up going back to those old ways, probably in 4 months, 5 months,
Yep.
and then you'll wind up in another breakup.
Right.
So,
And you don't have to always be right. It's not necessary.
Yeah. No,
You don't have to be wrong either, but we can agree to disagree on the amount of heat in the house. Right? How many loads of laundry I do on Saturdays. There are all kinds of things you need to discuss.
Yeah.
But things are better discussed than left quiet. And if your partner's going to get upset, well then, so be it. You still have communicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very important to work on
Yeah.
your communication skills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think about your areas that you struggle. Think about how you want to improve. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good video.
I'm glad you communicated that to me, Craig. I'm glad you liked it.
I'm glad that you're glad that I liked it.
Yes.
And hopefully they will communicate that by liking the video and leaving a comment.
Oh, I hope so.
That's it for this video, though. If you guys want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching. I do Skype. Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching.
Feel free to sign up with me if you feel like I can be helpful to you.
That's it for this video, though. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.